Hello, and thanks for joining me today. We're going to talk about creating a selling strategy or how to sell in your business, something that you can rely on, that you can set up. Zig Ziglar said it best by saying sales is the best paying hard working job and the worst paying lazy working job. Now, we're going to talk about not just the things that you have to work hard, but we're going to talk about working smart as well. Now, for those of you who are a little bit freaked out about sales and hate sales or say, I don't like to sell, I'm not a salesman, well, good, because I don't either. And this is what we're going to talk about. If you'll remember the hierarchy of business needs, your business needs some things to make it successful. First off, you need marketing. Marketing is what makes your phone ring, what brings prospective clients to you to talk to you. Then sales is what makes your cash register ring, or what uh, signs the deal or makes them a client. Then fulfillment is what you sell, that's what you give them. Now, in your business, there's only two areas of your business that make money. These two areas are sales and marketing. Those are your profit centers. Everything else is an expense. So, looking at salespeople, there's four kinds of salespeople. You've got ducks, you've got seagulls, you've got pelicans, and you've got eagles. And there's a line that divides them. The ducks and the seagulls are not the good kind. Ducks waddle and they quack a lot. Seagulls are a lot more nimble. They get up and they fly, but they typically are scavengers and they poop all over everything else. They make a lot of noise. Pelicans work together well. They're good team players. They get along well and they're hard workers. Typically, you see your sales managers are pelicans. And then your eagles are your sales superstars. Now, what makes the difference between these two groupings are habits and actions. If you create good habits and you get out there and you act accordingly, then you can be an eagle or a pelican as opposed to a duck or a seagull, and the results are phenomenally different. So excellence, you realize, does not happen by accident. It's something that you build upon. It's brick by brick that you can become the greatest salesperson in the world by practicing and by developing the best sales system. I mean, let's look at it like this. We're not selling stuff at a flea market. We're selling the day of a lifetime. We're selling opulence. We're selling excellence. We're selling the experience. So we have to be good at what we do. And selling like this is a little bit different than just selling everyday trinkets. Now, the system that I'm going to propose to you is for the face-to-face appointment. You can also use a lot of these same techniques when you're over the phone, but primarily this is a system that works face-to-face. So let's get into the 6-step selling system that I use. Now, I don't want you to just try to be me with this, of course. I want you to be yourself because you need to be genuine in everything that you do. Step number one, you've got to establish what are the ground rules. Here's why. Because when you control the direction of the sale, you control where it goes. If you let them control it, they don't know where to take it. So you have to establish what the ground rules are so that you can be the person in charge. Those ground rules are the time that you're going to be meeting, what you want to accomplish, and then what's the event at the end? What happens at the end of your meeting? What's the next step? What are we going to talk about? Where are we going from there? So that we don't just end up with, okay, well, let me go think about it. Let me go sleep it over. And of course, you've got to talk about other people. Now, these are all things that you need to talk about up front. The next step is we need to get emotional and put them into their mind about their event. Because here, let's face it, what you're selling is not a necessity for the event. If you look at any wedding, no wedding says that you need a DJ to be married. No state says that you need a photographer. No state says that you need a cake, flowers, a reception venue, etc., etc. They say that you need a license, an officiant over that license, two people to show up and say, I do, and sometimes witnesses. So let's get them emotional about it. Let's not get them logical about the decision that they're going to be making and about the sale that you're taking. And the next thing is I want you, once you start drawing that picture, I want you to paint yourself into that picture. Because when they can imagine you doing it, then it makes it a lot easier for them to go ahead and pull the trigger for you, even if you are more expensive than your competition, even if you don't sell what they sell. Your package can be totally different, can be in your mind's eye less than, but because they can visualize you in it, they're going to be more prone to dealing with you. The next step, and this is a fun one, is the true budget. Too many times we get caught up in the budget step and we train them to ask about price. And it's simple as this, is that most brides who come in to see you are not firmly resolute on a price. So let's not pretend that they are. Let's go ahead and ask them what their true budget is by suggesting to them that they probably don't have a budget. True. And if they had to have a budget, round numbers, what would that look like? And then you can take them a couple extra steps, because they're never going to give you the first budget. They're going to give you their dream budget. Let's pretend, for example, that you're out looking for a car and you can afford to spend $400 a month. Well, if you get into that dream car that you fall in love with, are you going to stretch that $400 out? Are you going to try to wiggle around and try to figure out how to get up to $500 if you need to, or $450? But you won't tell that salesman your true budget when you first meet them. So there are steps to take to get them to move that budget up. Next, you got to find out what their priority is. If they're a very low priority buyer, then their budget's not going to change, and it's going to be all about price. If they're a high priority, they're going to figure it out. And then here's the sale. You got to get ready for the sales close. It's pretty hard. So get ready. Here's how you got to close the sale. You got to ask for the sale. And this is how you do it. It's as simple as, what's next? Because let's face it, hopefully by now, you've built some trust. You've imagined what they've wanted. You've talked all about their dreams, their hopes, their aspirations for your portion of what you sell in their wedding, and they can imagine you in it. You've determined that you can do it within the budget that they've set, and that they've got the priority to spend that budget. So you don't have to go for anything hard or fast. Now, there's some rules in sales I want you to keep in mind. Number one, they're not a customer without money, a contract, or both. Until then, they're just a prospect. So I don't want you to get all pushed out of shape if you don't get the sale, because you didn't lose a sale. You might not have closed a sale. But if you look at all the prospects that are in your city, in your area, then you're going to realize that, yeah, I've got plenty of time and I've got plenty of availability to lose a prospect. But if you look at the 20 or 15 or whatever events that you did last year, it hurts a lot more. And I'm telling you this so you don't get your head all messed up around the wrong things. Number two, SW4, which stands for some will, some won't, so what, someone's waiting. Don't go into this expecting to bat 1,000, but go into this expecting that there are people out there who need what you sell, who want what you sell, and who will buy what you sell. And simply said, if you use a strategy that's going to be stronger, then you're going to close more sales. And then number three, lose control, you lose the sale. You got to maintain control of the direction of the sale, where it's going. I'm not saying manipulate. I'm not saying to be omnipresent with your approach. I'm just suggesting to you that you need to tell them what's next, and you got to get them to agree on it. Now, you get all these steps perfect. It goes through absolutely the way that you want to. Then that means you get the sale, right? No. That means that you get something better. You get progress. In other words, you're going to be able to take more of your clients further, your prospects further in the process, to find out if they will become clients. And this is the main thing. You're trying to build trust with them. And this is the greatest way to build trust. When you have that trust, the sale comes a lot easier. Because inside the mind of the bride, she is so overwhelmed. And inside the mind of the bride, she wants so desperately to buy the right stuff for her wedding, because she has these inner real reasons of what she's buying and why she's buying it. And what she is so desperately trying to avoid is a wedding day disaster. So if this has helped you, I sure hope it has, and this is just the first step. If you're looking to go further, then I want you to look at this triangle of success, which means you've got your actions, which is your appointments or your meeting with the brides, and going for and trying to use the strategy. Your attitudes, in other words, you've got to believe that the brides are out there, that there are people that are going to buy from you, and not think that every bride is cheap, every bride does this or that. And then third is your abilities. If you need some help on your abilities and getting firmer in your marketing, which is going to bring them to the sale, and then the ability to form a structure to help you close that sale, then I can help you with that. And if you're looking to go further, if you're serious about taking that next step, if you're interested in going to the next level with your business, or just taking a look at what you're doing and making sure it's right, then your next step is click the link below and we can talk further. Well, let's further the conversation, though. I appreciate you spending some time today, and good luck with your sales. Here's to your success.